Hello, Wayne artists. We are going to work on one of the elements of art this week. So as you may remember, or if you're learning this for the first time, there are 7 elements of art. The one we're going to focus on this week is color. So some of you, I believe Tunis Dye and Randall Carter received their sketchbooks and their twistables, one or the other. Some kids didn't take them home yet, that's fine. APT students, I don't think yours came in yet, and there's just a little bit of wait time on that. So you can use anything you have at home. I always have crayons at home. If you have colored pencils, if you have markers, that's fine too. So, and you can just use plain white paper if you don't have your sketchbook yet. So we're going to be focusing on color, and I'm going to be reading you a story, another Peter Reynolds story called Sky Color. So we'll do that together. And then I have just a little color project experimentation for you to try. Stay tuned. Here we are. Here is book number 2 by Peter Reynolds. The book is called Sky Color. I love his illustrations. As you know, the author is the person who writes the story. The illustrator is the person who somehow designs the pictures in the book. But sometimes there is an author who is also the artist or the illustrator, like Peter Reynolds, which is kind of a cool thing to have both skills. Many of you have both skills as well. Here is Sky Color. Marisol was an artist. She loved to draw and paint, and she even had her very own art gallery. Not all of her art hung in a gallery. Much of it she shared with the world. She painted posters to share ideas she believed in. Save the ocean. Get well. At school, Marisol was famous for her creative clothes, her box of art supplies, and her belief that everybody was an artist. Yes, Marisol was an artist through and through, so when her teacher told the class they were going to paint a mural for the library, Marisol couldn't wait to begin. The classroom buzzed with the sound of brainstorming. The students talked and sketched. Together they made a great big drawing. Then they marched to the library. "I'll paint a fish. I'll paint one too. I'll paint the ocean." Marisol shouted, "I'll paint the sky." Marisol rummaged through the box of paint but could not find any blue. "How am I going to make the sky without blue paint?" The bell rang. It was time to put their brushes down for the day. As she climbed aboard the bus, Marisol kept wondering. All the way home, she stared out the window. The sun lowered closer to the horizon. Later, at home, Marisol watched day turn into night. That night, Marisol settled into a deep dream. She drifted through a sky swirling with colors, the colors mixed, making too many to count. In the morning, Marisol stood waiting for the bus in the rain. The sky was not blue. She smiled. At school, Marisol raced to the library. She grabbed a dish and began adding colors. This one, that one. She swirled the brush to make an altogether new color. Marisol then began painting on the wall. A boy asked, "What color is that?" "That," Marisol said, "that is sky color." Look at that mural. I don't think I see any blue in the sky. So, what I want you to think about is, as an artist, do things always have to look the way you think they look? Can they be different? Maybe if you look at something, maybe, just maybe, you'll notice that it's other colors than what you originally thought. Sunset, deeper sunset, nighttime, a dreaming sky, a cloudy, rainy sky, to this beautiful sky. Okay, so I have my sketchbook, I have a pencil. I am going to, for the first part of this lesson, just talk to you about colors. We have some different ways to organize our colors, and I wanted to go over that with you. The first 3 colors I want to talk to you about are the 3 most important colors on our color wheel. They are primary colors. And I know I'm a lefty, so I cover up what I'm writing. There you go. Primary colors. I want you to think in your head. Think about 3 colors that can make all of the other colors. Think about what those 3 colors are. You may remember that I mentioned them in the first lesson, the dot lesson. Okay, so we have blue, red, and yellow. Those are our primary colors. So what I want you to do is just put the 3 primary colors on the top of your page. You can label it too if you'd like to. You don't have to, but if you'd like to, that helps you remember and keep your colors organized. So I'm just gonna make a little bit of a blue section. Doesn't have to be a dot, it could be a scribble scrabble. I'm going to put my red here. Okay, that's my second primary color. And I'm going to do my third, which is yellow. Okay, so go ahead and find your 3 primary colors, crayons, colored pencils, twistables, markers, however you want to do it, and put those down as your first 3 important colors, okay? You can pause the video if you need to. I'm going to move on to the secondary colors. So I'm going to write that for you here just to keep my sketchbook organized. Okay, now you know we can mix them if we want to, but because we're using twistables or crayons or colored pencils, they don't always mix as well as paints. Paints are the best to mix with. So I'm just going to review with you what the 3 secondary colors are. The cool thing is, you get the secondary colors by mixing the primary colors together. Not all together. You have to do 2 at a time. So let's start with blue plus red. Blue plus red. Actually, let's do this. This will be fun. Blue plus red. It's like a math problem for art. Equals, think about it. A lot of you know what it is. Blue plus red equals violet. Perfect. So that's one of our secondary colors, okay? Now let's mix red plus yellow. Red plus yellow equals, who knows it? What do you get when you mix these 2 colors together? Shout it out if you know it. Orange. So here's your orange. That's your secondary color. And then we have to go to the outside. We have to mix blue with yellow. So here we go. Blue plus yellow equals, who knows the 3rd secondary color? If you know it, go ahead. If you're not sure, here it comes. Green. I actually think I might want to make that green a little bit darker. All right. So those are my secondary colors, okay? So we have primary colors, blue, red, yellow. We have secondary colors, violet, orange, green. And I have another way for you to organize colors if you would like, okay? The next way would be warm or cool. And many of you know these. You can also just kind of feel, like if you were going to think about something that's cold, what colors would you color something that's cold? Here's how I always like to remember it. I like to think of cool colors being the colors of cool water. So I think about blue, I think about green, and I think about purple. Those are nice and cool. So you can just give me a little bit of some cool color action over here. Okay, warm colors would be your other three. And this, for me, I think about fire or the sun or something really, really warm. It would probably be these colors, red, orange, or yellow. Okay, if you wanted to get really fancy, there are more colors in between the primary and secondary colors. Those are called tertiary or intermediate colors, but let's just stick to our basic primary and secondary colors and warm and cool colors. That's our first part of the project. So this week, all I'm going to have you do is make yourself a color page. Practice those primary colors, practice those secondary colors. If you want to try mixing them together, you can. For example, if I took the blue and the red, I took a blue over here and I took my red and I went right on top of it. It's kind of hard to see. We've done this with my first grade classes with crayons. It's a little bit hard to see, but if I pull my eye back a little bit, it does look a little bit purple or violet, okay? So then I want to try the same thing here. My secondary colors, I want to experiment a little bit by mixing them. I'll do my red. I'll do a little yellow on top. And I get my own blended orange, okay? And for my final trick, I'll take the blue and the yellow. I'm not coloring super duper hard, boys and girls, so that I don't get a darker version of one color in this mixing little section. And we're gonna get it close enough. So that's also a fun way to experiment, okay? We just made our own violet, orange, and green. Have fun. I can't wait to see your color page that you worked on. Talk to you soon.